Let's just take a moment here to appreciate one of the last true greats, Billy D. Williams. He's a real BDW. You can find him and follow him on Twitter, see what his thoughts are. He played Lando Calrissian in the original trilogy, and he is the only original human cast member, hero, quote unquote. I mean, he was kind of a hero. He was a complicated man. But anyway, he's the only one who has not yet been disgraced by Vici Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm. Of course, we know in Force Awakens, they disgraced Han Solo, humiliated his character, and destroyed him. They did similar to Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, and according to rumors and actually Garbage Tier Media sources, Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, was scheduled to be similarly debased in Episode 9, but she escaped disgrace, God bless you, Princess Leia, by passing on unexpectedly. So rest in peace, Princess. Now they've got to find someone else to disgrace instead. I fear it will be Billy D. Williams, but at the same time, I do want him to be in Episode 9. He is an amazing guy. I've met him a few times. Anyway, he tweets out, "Feels good to pass on the lightsaber." Let me tell you something, it does feel good. And the fact that he can still do that at his age is laudatory. It's healthy. It's healthy to pass on the lightsaber well into your 70s, 80s. We should encourage that. It's not gross. It's natural. Okay, healthy. Anyway, it feels good to pass on the lightsaber to such a handsome and talented rebel. Rebel is in all caps. And who was triumphant tonight on SNL? That's what I always say. Who was triumphant? Mostly it's like flap sweat and humiliation, tediously long skits that go nowhere, and far left propaganda. Who was triumphant tonight on Saturday Night Live? Almost nobody ever. Yeah, it's Don Glover here, and I guess this was a message to him. He's playing he's playing Lando Calrissian in the upcoming Soylo, a Soy Wars Soy. It's been renamed that by stupid people like me. But it's, he's going to be in the movie. Everyone is looking forward to seeing Don Glover play Lando Calrissian. I know I am. This was a very, very generous tweet from Billy D. Williams, although I'm afraid Lando Calrissian never had a lightsaber to hand off, but we're not going to mention that. I mean, that was for Billy D. Williams. That was 30 years ago. Has he watched this since? What the hell? Of course not. All right. So anyway, this is a prayer to J.J. Abrams and Craig KK, who honestly, I'm sure, is already thinking of ways to embarrass Billy D. Williams in Episode 9. I just want to say this: please give this man a role. He may not be comfortable walking around so much anymore, but Carrie Fisher, you still managed to make Princess Leia look really, really good, even though she was getting up there in years and she wasn't feeling very well. Find a way to make Billy D. Williams's Lando Calrissian really shine in Episode 9. The fans want it. I know I want it, and I don't know. I mean, that'll go a long way. That'll go a long way to erasing Roundhead Ryan Johnson's disgraceful Star Wars The Last Jedi. Will it? Probably won't, but it would be nice.
Hello, I started this gangsta shit, and this the thanks I get. Hello, I started this gangsta shit, and this the thanks I get.
Hey everyone, welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am Ethan Van Sciver. Thank you everyone, thank you for coming. Just continuing with this thought process, this thought train about the great Billy D. Williams and Lando Calrissian. I mean, and Billy D. Williams in particular. We've already talked about Don Glover, all we're going to talk about. Let's talk about Billy D. Williams, and let's talk about Star Wars Episode 9 that's coming out next year. I mean, we can already look towards Episode 9, and let's talk about the fact that we've got this guy who has yet met his fate, his character. That is the smile right here. I'm going to show you the smile. Look at that, handsome. But see the joy? Yes. That is a man who never had to take direction from a bespectacled, goateed basketball with a smirk. He is so happy he never had to work with Rian Johnson. And I don't blame him. Rian Johnson hopes to see Lando back in episode number 9. Well, okay, so Rian Johnson actually did think about putting Lando Calrissian in The Least Jedi Episode 8, and he didn't. He didn't do it. I mean, thank goodness he didn't do it. He said, I don't think he'll really fit. No, I don't think he'd really fit either. I don't think anything fit in that movie. I don't think Luke Skywalker fit in that movie. Maybe you need to reconsider Mark Hamill. Can we do an edit? I know we've got fellows who are editing out a lot of the filth out of Star Wars The Last Jedi, trying to make it a watchable film. Can we edit Luke Skywalker out? How much of that movie is salvageable? Very little, very little. Look at him. He's like, bitch, I'm not taking orders from you. Cracks open a cold Let's try to say that. A cold Colt 45. Yeah, you have to say that very deliberately. Let's try that again. Cracks open a cold Colt 45 and says, hell yeah. Alright. With the minds of Star Wars fans now focused on Solo, a Star Wars story, my mind is focused on that. But listen, I can walk and chew gum. I can actually go ahead and think about Episode 9. As I've already written off Solo, a Star Wars story, let's look ahead to the future. Many of the gripes about Star Wars, The Last Jedi, have taken a backseat to the upcoming anthology film. Yeah, isn't that convenient for Rian Johnson? Rian Johnson is hoping this movie fails more than anyone. You better believe Rian Johnson has a problem with Ron Howard. He's desperately hoping that Schadenfreude is on his menu in 2 weeks. He's hoping that Solo bombs. It's not gonna. You know what? If the choice is a successful Solo that makes Rian Johnson further realize his utter failure on The Last Jedi, I think I'm in Ron Howard's corner. I have already said that I project Solo, a Star Wars story, to make $340 million on its opening weekend. That is the baseline. That's the minimum that I expect it to make. It is going to be a fantastic success. Fantastic success. I'll tell you all about it after I see it. Yeah. The director of The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson. The man with a perfectly round... His head is round, and not only that, nothing penetrates it. Nothing penetrates his head. He sits next to Mark Hamill, the man who portrayed Luke Skywalker. This man is Luke Skywalker. He has been Luke Skywalker for 40 years. It's been his life. And Mark Hamill makes suggestions to Rian Johnson, some fucking hillbilly. Who is this dude? Who is Rian Johnson? And Ryan's just like, nah. Ryan's an artist. Ryan is an artist. He has made the most divisive and despised Star Wars movie ever. Now, I mean, the prequels were bad. I'm watching The Phantom Menace again right now. And, yeah, it has its problems. But The Last Jedi is on a whole different level. An absolutely whole different level. I mean, there are some people who like the prequels. Yeah. Nobody actually unironically likes The Last Jedi, and that is the work of Rian Johnson. He is a tormentor and a nerd. Recently spoke... I call him a nerd. He is. Recently spoke with Entertainment Tonight and gave his thoughts on where Lando Calrissian is in present-day Star Wars universe, and if he would like to see Calrissian appear in Episode 9. It doesn't matter what you think, Ryan. You're going to see him from a seat in the audience. I hope we do, quote-unquote. I love that character so much. I think especially when people see him in Solo, they're going to want to see more of him immediately. I would love to, as a Star Wars fan. This is... What are you being funny? I'm just crossing my fingers we get to see Billy D. Williams back in the Cape. Yeah, me too. Me too. Look at this. Related, Star Wars The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson explains why there wasn't a funeral for Han Solo. Because Rian didn't care. That's why. I, like many fans, would also enjoy seeing... Who cares what you think? This is the guy who's writing this article. Oh, God, people just put their own opinions in these articles. Nobody cares what you think. Just give us the information. We do care what Rian Johnson thinks because we want to heap scorn upon him. We don't even know who you are. All right. I, like many fans, would also enjoy seeing Lando back in action in the trilogy's next installment. It seems like there was a perfect opportunity to bring him back in The Last Jedi. Well, Rian Johnson disagrees. Yes, I mean have him in place of Benicio del Toro's DJ character. Oh my God, that sucked. Oh, that sucked. Sure, it would have been somewhat cliche, but I think even those that figured out DJ was the codebreaker were expecting to see Lando somewhere in that casino, knowing the character's love of gambling. Yeah. Well, Han Slow is crafty. Lando is probably the smoothest guy in the galaxy. He is debonair, he dresses well, and man can, no comma, and man can he talk a good game. So yes, I agree, we need more Lando, and that Billy D. Williams should make a return to the galaxy far, far away. For many fans, Rian Johnson is the Lucy Peanuts. This is actually very apt. He's a lot like a Peanuts character. His head is a perfect circle, and he's a fool. Of the Star Wars, of the Star Wars universe, fan service is the football, and us fans with mixed feelings are Charlie Brown. I don't know. I just think he's an idiot. I don't think he's a mean guy like Lucy. I think he's just a dummy. That's my impression. He does have a little bit of passive aggressiveness in him, but most SJWs do. They are out to annoy people, and force them into accepting things they don't want to accept for their own amusement. But I don't think he's Lucy. Lucy was a bully. Ryan's just a dummy. Would you like to see Lando Calrissian return in Episode 9? Let us know in the comments down below. And there are no comments, so nobody cares. I would like to see Lando Calrissian return in Episode 9. I think it would be really, really cool. I would like to see him sitting behind the table, gambling with some lovely green ladies, and yeah, I don't know. I think it would be maybe he has some regrets, maybe not. Maybe he has no regrets. He doesn't need to die. We don't need to kill everyone. This is the other thing that these people are doing. We don't need to kill everyone. Everybody doesn't need to meet their doom. You can actually just, touch on them with the story and then say goodbye and let us. You don't have to kill everyone. This is the death of Lando. Why? Because Disney's putting him in a movie. We got to kill him. God. Yeah, just leave him alone. Never mind. Take it back. Don't put him in it. And let's thank everyone who is supporting this channel, and that's you. You're supporting it just by clicking like, just by watching it, just by sharing it, just by subscribing to this channel and hitting that bell for notifications. But there's some that go even further, and they pledge to my Patreon. $1 or more per month really helps keep this channel prolific and, keep those uploads coming. I do appreciate you very much. Also, I want to thank people who donate super chats during my live streams. You guys are the best. If you would like to become a member of this community, certainly check out the description below. There is a link to my Patreon and also to my eBay page where you can check out some merch. Thanks.